Don't worry. Hello and welcome to Meadows Field in Balgowan. And we bring you Michaelhouse against Glenwood. We've got 3 games in store for you. The first one up, the under-16As. Second game will be the 2 second teams, and then the main game will be kicking off at around about 3:30. And there it is, the 2 first 15s clashing. And although they haven't played each other a lot in recent years, they've actually played 84 times in history. And some people might be surprised to know that Michaelhouse are well ahead in the stats. That's how things change over the years. What a glorious day it is in the Midlands. And alongside me, marketing manager of Michaelhouse School, Murray Witherspoon. Welcome.
Andy, thanks very much. Hello to anybody joining us, wherever you may be around the world. I know that the link has been shared far and wide. We're very excited to have you with us. It's been 438 days since we last welcomed a visiting school for a set of fixtures here in Balgowan, so a tangible sense of excitement in the school buildings this morning.
Yeah, isn't it wonderful? I picked that up when I came through the door as well. And it is a wonderful day. I mean, you can see how beautiful it is. Now, those of you who know Michaelhouse well might say, well, you can see the blue sky, but I'll bet it's cold. But it's not cold. It's around about 23, 24 degrees today, and just perfect conditions. Meadows is looking a picture. Lovely to see the green machine arriving en masse, and such excitement amongst both sets of players. So that is the Michaelhouse team. The under-16As, number of good players in that side, and one that I should pick out is Chris Silk, because I know his father very well, who's the music master here. And is he a decent rugby player?
That's right, Andy. Chris William Silk is his dad, also runs the flying club here at Michaelhouse. Chris is a tough workman-like lock forward, first to put up his hand and get them dirty. A couple of other names to point out: Captain Murray Baker, the leader of his band of merry men, very shrewd, very, very sharp character. You'll see him engaging plenty with the ref today, I think. Another man to look out for, Wandile Mlaba at the back of the scrum. Big, robust, athletic rugby player. Probably be quite familiar with a number of the boys lining up in the Glenwood team. He calls the South Coast home. So no doubt a number of the boys that he'll be playing against would have been at prep school with him, Adam Amzimtoti, just a few years ago.
And of course it makes me feel very old that Ryan Strudwick, the head coach, I remember commentating on him in his first season for the Sharks many, many, many years ago.
An interesting connection there too, Andy. Ryan with his London Irish pedigree, the uncle of our centre today, Campbell Riddle, Richard Bates, who you may be familiar with.
I know Richard, yeah. Richard, of course, also played for Bath, which is my hometown. And there is the Glenwood under-16A side. Look out for Umnalisi Gamedi on the right wing. He's South African athletics representative, 400-metre hurdles. So we'll be looking forward to seeing him getting in the odd sprint. Kane Plaskett-Byrne, the number 7 flank. He's a big ball-carrying flank forward, and Glenwood do produce that kind of player on a regular basis. And look out as well for the hooker, Keegan Hussen. He's a big red-headed lad, and I would imagine that his favourite player is Stephen Kitsoff. Justin Hollis is their head coach, but they're also getting a bit of help from Heinke van der Merwe, who is here today. And I also commentated on Heinke's debut for the Lions many years ago. Played 5 test matches for South Africa, and then went overseas, and a legendary man for both Stade Francais and for Leinster. Played over 80 games for both of those teams. So great to see him putting it back in at Glenwood. And obviously everybody is a little bit of an unknown quantity. There's James Fleming chatting away.
Andy, touching on James and his impact on the rugby landscape here at Michaelhouse. We were discussing a little earlier the conditioning of our boys in our previous 2 weekends of outings against Westville last weekend and Kersney the weekend before that. The conditioning of Michaelhouse rugby players is something which is quite evident as a differentiator on those 2 days, and I think we can look out for a lot of that today. The Glenwood boys will obviously be sucking for air come half time of their games. We'll be playing 25-minute halves, and I think By the time the ref blows his whistle, the Glenwood boys will be ready to take in a little bit of extra oxygen and expect the Michaelhouse boys to come out guns blazing into the second halves, banking on that conditioning which James has brought into the Michaelhouse rugby space.
Helped, of course, by your wonderful new gym facility here that's grown up during lockdown.
We like to call it the High Performance Centre, Andy. The gym, as James will frequently point out, is for what you look like in your Speedo when you go to the beach during the holidays. High Performance Centre is about how we get stuck into the way we work and play here in Balgowan.
Well, lovely to see everybody massing on the field now as we wait for the two under-16A teams to join us on the field. It looks a picture out there. The autumn leaves still falling. Who's our referee today? Do we know?
If we're looking at him on screen, that is Paul Mackay.
And is he at Michaelhouse Master?
He is. He's HOD Geography and the House Master of Farfield House.
Thank you. No doubt he will rule with a rod of iron. He looks the type.
He's a no-nonsense character.
So, of course, once again, no crowd here. Normally, you wouldn't be able to hear yourself talk now, as the anticipation would be at full tilt, but it is just the boys and us. So we're very pleased that you're joining us virtually. Don't forget the website. Go on to the Supersport Zone and register on Supersport Schools. And this game is going out free to air on channel 246. Like us on Supersport Schools and follow at Supersport_schools. And there's the engagement one. So Glenwood running through in their striped jerseys. And looks like they'll be playing from left to right on your screens in this first half. No numbers, which is a bit of a problem. But I've got used to it with school sport, Murray.
And yeah, couldn't agree more. I was hoping with fingers crossed that they would run on with numbers on the back of their jerseys, but we'll do the best we can.
Yeah, well, I'll put it out there. If school sport is going to be a regular TV sport now, I know tradition is important, but let's have numbers. So here come the Michaelhouse boys, led out by their captain, Murray Baker, captain and scrum half, and playing in the red, and some real hiss being delivered by the tunnel. So it'll be Michaelhouse playing from right to left on your screens. Looks like they will be kicking off as well. Everybody clearing the area. Last few moments from the captain. Referee Paul Mackay checks his watch, and we're about ready to go. Just to put you in the picture, the two games that Michaelhouse have played so far, they beat Clifton 30-0. 3 games, I should say. Kersney 26-13 and Westfield 28-7. And you were telling me an amazing stat about the number of games that Michaelhouse have played this year.
Andy, since we closed up business just ahead of lockdown last year, we have played 71 matches. That's from bottom to top, under 14D through to first team, and we have won 66 of those 71 fixtures, which is quite remarkable. Again, I think a lot of that is you could credit to the conditioning program here at Michaelhouse. You were just running off those scores. This side, the Glenwood boys playing left to right, as you say, coming off a very confident 53-13 win last weekend against St. Charles College. So I think a clash of two pretty optimistic teams right now. Michaelhouse quite notably have turned around their last 2 results, having lost in under 14 to both Kersney and Westfield. So a confident team.
So here are Glenwood with their first carry. You heard the roar from the crowd from the first big hit. And Glenwood looking to get the chicken wing away. That's gone forward. So actually an option. Forward pass means that there could be a scrum, could be a line out. Let's see what the decision is. It is scrum down. So the first scrum of the day. Watch out for the clash at tight head, where Eddie van Lochrenberg is up against Mula Mgomba. And the first time I've seen Eddie, I was told he was a big lad, and he is a large side of meat. About the size of a beer truck. Murray Baker to put the ball in for Michaelhouse. And nice right shoulder there.
Immediately, Wandile Mlaba into the action.
Quickly cleared. And, oh, that's been lost forward in contact. So turnover ball for Glenwood. Deep inside their own 22. There's the box kick. And that's an interesting one because there's nobody at home for Michaelhouse, so it's going to be a foot race. It's a long, long chase back. See the way that the ball is bouncing in these firm winter conditions. Sliced off the side of the foot, so there you go. That's Rugby from almost in front of their own posts. Glenwood now on the attack just outside Michaelhouse's 22.
A small worry for Michaelhouse up front in that centre channel. Watching Campbell Riddle relinquish possession in that early contact, you'll notice that his left hand is fairly heavily strapped, carrying quite a serious injury from last weekend's game still. Hopefully he bears up.
Nicely won at the front of the line there by Lathan Sheehan. Coming out from scrum half, Carter McClelland. That's gone forward and the referee will bring them back. So Michaelhouse very happy to have turned things over there. So there's Eddie van Locherenberg getting the pat on the back. Look at the size of him. He looks like he should be a lock forward rather than a prop.
He's a large fellow. Interesting to note that he's a very accomplished saxophonist.
Always like to see a musician in a side.
Action on far meadows beyond the game we're watching. Michaelhouse under 14As have run in an early try against Glenwood, which is exciting for the home side.
Here go Glenwood under 16As, and that's a lovely low tackle coming in there from, I think, Abongile Kulu. Little reverse pass there. Now be careful, put him down. Thank you. Nothing wrong there. It's a really good tackle coming through. And advantage to Michaelhouse. Turnover ball at the base there. Some good work on the ground from Wandile Mlaba. And that's just a little nudge forward. So a couple of little errors, but both sides putting in some big hits early doors.
It's going to be a very interesting showdown here out on Michaelhouse's left wing with Leo Muziva squaring up against Glenwood's athlete. He's also a sprint athlete of some renown, coming into Michaelhouse as a national champion level athlete in prep school.
Putting the ball in is Carter McClelland. His uncle owns a brewery just down the road from here, the Lions River Brewery. Rugby and beer do seem to go together. Big shove from Michaelhouse. Glenwood getting pushed off their own ball there. The referee will reset. And it looked like the power there came from the loose head, Oliver van Klemperen. He is up against Henko Kok, closest to our camera. And I should compliment the cameras. You're getting lovely visuals here. There's another huge shove from Michaelhouse, but the ball is available for Glenwood. That's gone forward. And they'll come back and there'll be a scrum on the halfway line. Well, a lot of people would not have expected to see the Michaelhouse 8 really giving it to Glenwood on their own ball, but that's what's happening.
Coach Strudwick very definitely picked a scrumming tight 5, in particular a couple of changes in the front row from the previous 2 matches of the season. Notably Angus Wattam, who's on the bench at the moment, has been substituted by Thabo Njapa at the hooker. Angus, very accomplished hooker, but not cut in from the same scrumming cloth as Thabo.
If I see my previous teams correctly, Oliver van Klemperen at loosehead has been playing at hooker occasionally?
He has played at hooker occasionally, yes, Andy.
But he looks like a loosehead.
I think he's finding himself at home today, as we've seen in 1 or 2 of the scrums, which...
Another nice pick up at the back by Wandile Mlaba. He gets the outside, backs away. Racing away with the ball is Ashton Murray. Gets the ball back on the inside, and I think that's Campbell Riddle on the ball. Here goes the blindside move. one of the locks. And that will be a penalty to Michaelhouse inside the 22. It's been taken quickly by Baker. He gets it to within 5, gets the offload away. Then it's taken on by Oliver van Klemperer. And this time, not releasing. It's going to be another penalty for Michaelhouse. Now, I wonder whether they'll take the scrum here. Decision to be made. Yeah, looks like they're going to set the line out instead. No, they're not. They're going to have a go. Look at that charge. Is that Van Lokkerenberg? I think it is. Just short of the line. Baker digs it out, gives it to Mlaba. Mlaba's over the line for the try. What a start for Michaelhouse. And we've had just 7 minutes. Well, it was a bold use of the penalty. Not once, but twice.
Certainly the Michaelhouse forwards seem to have their tails up right now, Andy.
So this is the number 8 scoring the try. It is Wandile Mlaba. And who's our converter here, Murray? Is it Luke?
Yes, that's Luke Jankowicz.
Luke Jankovic
doing some work with the tee.
Let's see if he can convert Mlaba's try. It's a lovely strike. Oh, off the upright. Bad luck. So 5-0 to Michaelhouse, and we've almost had 8 minutes now. And certainly you can't say that was against the run of play. Great start from the under-16s of Michaelhouse. Glenwood will be stung by that.
Possibly not an appropriate weather analogy, Andy. One swallow doesn't make a summer. It's been many, many years, possibly as many as 10 years since Michaelhouse have won an age group fixture. So hopefully there's something record-breaking on the cards today.
Yeah, as you say, long way to go. Nice box kick there from Baker. And it is out on the full. So they'll have to go back just inside the 22. So let's have one more look at that try from Mlaba. Good leg drive, and just, I love the way he protected the ball as he went over the line there. That wasn't going to be plucked out of his hands. So putting the ball in for Glenwood is Keegan Huisson. It comes back to Glenwood. They make it available through McClelland. Good pass from McClelland. He's there at the breakdown as well. Now goes the other way. And interesting blocking run on the inside there. Referee happy with it. McClelland waiting for the next movement. It's taken though from the ruck around the outside by, I think, Liam Tablanche. Advantage being played for not rolling away. Advantage for Glenwood. And they're looking to use that advantage in the left-hand corner. Can they drive their way across the line from here? Just 5 meters in from touch. McClelland can see it. The arm is still out for the advantage. And that looked like the lock forward Dean. Referee is just starting to lose his patience here, because there's a lot of penalty infringements. Look at that for a step. Oh, he's lost the ball over the line. I think that was Gamedi. He did everything right and then just lost the ball as he was trying to put it down for the try. And Michaelhouse breathed away again, because although he had been playing advantage, the referee says that's enough advantage. Let's have a look. Oh, he just went without the ball, didn't he? Who was that making the tackle? That was a really...
That's the fullback, Graham Wynn.
Really good tackle from Graham Wynn there, that targeted the ball as well as the player and has saved the try. Now Glenwood put in a shove. That's a tight head. No, it's going to be penalised for scrumming up. Well, it's all happening out there. This is an exciting start to this game. We've had nearly 11 minutes now. Michaelhouse leading by 5-0.
Very little of the pitch that hasn't been covered yet in this game. Some pretty committed defence by the Michaelhouse flanks, Blake Neal and Tristan Arday with their backs to the line.
Just off the side of the boot a little there from Jankovic. So they're back on the 22, and this is where this movement started. This time, though, it'll be Thabo and Yapa putting the ball in for Michaelhouse. That didn't look very straight. Yeah, the referee would agree. You saw the jumper getting both hands to the ball with his back to the opposition, always a sign. So Glenwood, after being stuffed really in the first two scrums, came back really strongly in the last one. Let's see how we go here. Remember, in schoolboy rugby, you're not allowed to push the opposition pack more than 5. And Michaelhouse scrumming up there. Is that going to be penalised? Paul Mackay, the referee, says play on, and Michaelhouse have the ball. And somehow that was turned over. Glenwood suddenly have a chance here. Through the middle they go. That's a last-ditch tackle. It's quickly available. This is real danger for Michaelhouse, but they've managed to get across in defence. Good strong drive there coming in from Joshua Dean. Just a couple of metres short now, Glenwood. Held up over the line and pushed back with some intent. It's still available though. Oh, there's a huge overlap here. Somebody must score, and the try is scored. That is the equalising score. Not absolutely certain who it is. It might be Reuben Thompson, the inside centre. We'll send out a scout. So what we do know is that the try is good. And as you can see, there was an extra man there who could have scored that. So a period of Glenwood dominance has parlayed into a try, and the game is locked up with the conversion to come. Andrew Martins is lining up the conversion. Just shout to somebody and find out who got that try. Those guys there. So Ryan Strubwick having a word with his boys behind the goal. No doubt along the lines of what Murray Witherspoon was saying, one swallow does not make a summer. Game is locked up at 5-all. That try coming in the 14th minute. And this is to take the lead for Glenwood, and it's off the upright as well. So it is indeed 5-all.
Well, a try apiece and a kick off the poles each. It couldn't be more even.
Yep. And a real contest as well at the breakdown. Glenwood looked to me stung by the fact that they gave up that early try. Remember, we're playing 25 minutes each way, and we're coming towards the end of the 15th minute. The restart from Michaelhouse. McClellan sending it out. Big fellas in the forward. That's Sheehan. Oh, he can't do that under pressure. Gave his wing absolutely no chance at all there. So the ball ended up in touch. Putting the ball in for Michaelhouse is Thabo and Yapa. That's better. Oh, well, it was straight enough, but through the hands of the lock. Oh, we're going to have it again. Can only imagine that the referee wasn't happy with where everybody was on the field there.
Murray Baker, a lot of communication with ref Paul Mackay.
Lots of movement on the ground for Michaelhouse, and good ball off the top. Baker sending it out. Good step there. Just short of the 22, Michaelhouse. They've got some big potential ball carriers, but that's been hacked through by Glenwood. This is danger. Picked up going backwards, and now he's got to try and set and hope that the cleaners get there, which they do. Mlaba is one of them. Referee gives the penalty for not rolling away against the tackler. So we're on the 10-metre line of Michaelhouse. This game between the two under-16s is locked up at 5 apiece. And over on the far side, the under-14s are playing. You can see their game in the background.
And I've been aware of Michaelhouse scoring at least 3 tries in that game.
Aha.
Which is, again, positive for the home
Well,
side.
it's always exciting to watch the under-14s, isn't it? Because you never know what you're going to get.
It's always fascinating to see how, as players, their abilities and different levels of confidence unfold through the age groups.
Well, unfortunately, Thabo and Yapa's feed to the line-out is not straight, and clearly not straight. So that'll be a scrum down with a Glenwood put in.
Coming back to that conversation around Angus Wattam finding himself in the bench, a very, very dependable line-out thrower. So we'll see how Coach Stradwick responds to the last 2 or 3 line-outs.
It's one of those things in rugby, you're always weighing up your options. Do you want the solid guy? Do you want the guy who gives you just a little bit extra around the park? And, you know, most forwards would say, we want to know we're going to get our ball. But the coach sometimes thinks differently.
Absolutely, and with a scrum like that, a call is suddenly vindicated when you've picked your scrumming front row.
It's a very, very big front row for Michaelhouse, and they're giving Glenwood a real talking to. Look at that. Penalty goes the way of Michaelhouse. It's in a kickable position, but it's taken quickly by Baker. He gives it to the try scorer, Mlaba. Good low tackle on Mlaba. Baker giving it to Eddie van Locherenberg. Storming forward he goes. There, Baker goes on the open side. Jankovic through the hands. Leo Muziva. That's been buried. Referee saying it was collapsed, and the team going forward were Glenwood. So they will have the feed to the scrum. Paul Mackay looks as if he was a rugby player himself in his day. Looks like a hooker.
Is that not a stereotype, Andy?
Well, hookers always like to tell people what to do, you know. There's another huge shove from Michaelhouse. This time, you see the schoolboy rule kicking in there. They took it so far and they weren't allowed to take it any further. So Glenwood are allowed to play the ball, and they might end up scoring at the other end. How's the bounce? The bounce is perfect. Oh, lost the ball. It didn't go forward, says the referee. Can they canter in the corner here? They can, and I think that's Umnalisi Gamedi, the hurdler, getting the score in the corner. And that puts Glenwood in front. Well, Michaelhouse will be really distraught about that, having been so dominant in the scrum. But Gamedi ending up scoring at the other end. And that coming in the 20th minute. And now lining up the conversion will be Andrew Martins.
I'm sure the boys behind the poles will be talking about keeping the game a lot tighter. We've seen that's where Michaelhouse are going to assert their dominance if they're going to at all. The minute to get scrappy like that, we look as though we may be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, there was an error in the three-quarter line just before that score. Referee Paul Mackay said it didn't go forward, and so allowed play to continue. So here's Martins. This to stretch the lead. No, he's hooked it left, so it's 10-5 in favour of Glenwood. We've got 4 minutes to go to half-time in this under-16A game. First game of the day that we're bringing you live. Second game will be the seconds, and we will finish with the first team match beginning at 3:30 this afternoon. So can Michaelhouse get on the bus here from the restart?
Interesting, Graham Wynn taking the kick.
Thank you. Opting to go deep, and now Glenwood running across the middle of the field and being pinged. Now the forwards will have something to say about it. That looks like Henko Kok, the tight head prop. Now coming back from McClelland. Kick into space. Graham Wynn tracking back. He's got Baker with him. Now that needs to stay in field because it was from outside, and it's actually worked perfectly for Michaelhouse because Glenwood have knocked it into touch. One of those horrible moments. You look like you've got it under control, and maybe just a gust of wind or your own imagination allowing you not to catch the ball cleanly. 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Michaelhouse trail by 5. This is Nyapa with the feed, and he's missed his man. So the line out is a real problem for Michaelhouse, where the scrum is an area of great go forward for them. Now here go Glenwood down the left hand side. That's a good last ditch tackle.
Again by fullback Graham Wynn.
Yes, he's all over the place at the moment. There's a great low tackle. Now that ball should have been shifted loose before he was able to drive on with it. And a little chip into space that can cause havoc, but back they come. In fact, offside is the call against the Michaelhouse backline, and a penalty for Glenwood.
What do you think Glenwood will do, Andy, on the stroke of half-time?
I think they must set the line out from here. It's probably outside the range of the under-16 kicker. Putting into touch is Okonta Chijundu, and that's a great kick. I wonder whether we'll see the maul here or whether they'll try and loosen it up to these pacey three-quarters.
I fancy them going for option 2, Andy.
Got to get the ball first. Putting the ball in is Keegan Huisson. Shortened line out is the call. 5-man line. And about 8 meters from the Michaelhouse try line. Beautifully won at the top of the jump by Joshua Dean. Now they go around the short side into touch, and that should be a Michaelhouse throw. Little bit of a ill-tempered dust up, but it is quickly defused. And it looks like we're going to have a scrum. Hear a helicopter in the background. In the old days that would be a parent arriving, but in these COVID days that's not allowed.
And it is half term, so it may well still be the case, although I'm not aware of any parents with helicopters at this stage of the game.
Times are hard at Michaelhouse. See, it's heading off towards some of the farms on the top of the hill there. That can't be a farmer. So we've got a yellow card for starting the fight, and I think that is Henko Kok, but I'm not absolutely certain. So we're in injury time at the end of the first half, and Michaelhouse need to protect their ball a bit better than they are, but
here comes Thabo Njapa.
Thabo Njapa taking it over the 22. Now he needs to protect the ball on the ground. He's done that. Back from Baker. Oh, Michaelhouse can sense there's something on here. They've got an extra man, of course, with the yellow card. Bit of space for Leo Muziva.
Abongile Kulu taking it to ground.
And there's another good drive.
Strong drive by Jordan Kleinhans.
What a finish to the first half this is for Michaelhouse, and they've got the penalty. Advantage being played. Baker with the pass to Van Lochrenberg. Oh, Baker deciding to kick. I'm not sure that was the right option. He, of course, knew that there was a penalty advantage being played. So I wonder whether they might decide to kick from here, but it's probably just out of range.
Confidence low in the lineouts.
Yeah, you're right. But that's what they're going to do. Oh, has he missed touch? Yes, he has.
Captain Murray Baker taking kicking responsibility himself, just not paying off.
And that is half time. So Michaelhouse finishing the half on top, but it is they who trail by 2 tries to 1 and 10 points to 5. So Michaelhouse scoring first from Wandile Mlaba in the 7th minute, and that was responded to in the 14th minute, and then the go-ahead try coming from Nelisi Gamedi in the 20th minute. And so far, we haven't seen a kick landed. Okay, we're going to go to a brief break. There is the score. Michaelhouse 5, Glenwood 10.
Sometimes when I come home, I wonder what I would say to my younger self. Maybe I would say, ungenayonga yona kid inhle okanye ibhadlileyo. Ndakubona intwana ezimiseleyo. Kodwa qina, qhubeka ufunda, qhubeka udlala, qhubeka ukholelwa. Ngenye imini ukukhanya kuzokufumana.
Welcome back to the Meadows, Michaelhouse School in Balgowan. What a beautiful spot. This is our first of 3 games today, and it is Glenwood who lead by 10 points to 5, but it's been a great contest and be very difficult to pick a winner from here. That's our referee, Paul Mackay, and he's just checking his watch. And in the second half, it'll be Glenwood playing from right to left on your screens in the striped jerseys. And the red of Michaelhouse you'll see at the right hand side of your screen there. They will be defending that end. Murray Witherspoon is alongside me. Murray, lovely to see the coaches arriving today, I'm sure. And I mean the coaches carrying the team from down in Durban, because it just hasn't happened.
That's right, yeah, and in particular with the announcement which was circulated a little earlier today, I think there were yips all around that the game might be canned at the very last minute. So yes, very exciting to see the Glenwood buses rolling in and trundling down Warriors Walk and disgorging teams of boys.
I think I saw you chatting to William Silk at halftime.
Catching up with him, just getting his sense on how his boy is performing. He also had 1 or 2 concerns around the Michaelhouse lineouts in the first half.
Onwards and upwards from here, and as I say, the scrums have been a thing of beauty for Michaelhouse. But it did show how the laws for schools rugby can make such a difference, because Michaelhouse had just driven their opponents 5 metres back and then had to stop. And at the moment they stopped, the ball was released, sent wide, and Glenwood scored at the other end. So Glenwood will be a man down for the first couple of minutes of this second half. Their tight head prop Henko Kok being sent to the sin bin for some fairly tasty language.
Doesn't look like any changes in personnel on the Michaelhouse side.
I think this is Chijundu with the restart for Glenwood. That's gone forward from the ball receiver, so there'll be a scrum with a Glenwood feed. Glenwood beating St Charles 56-5 last week, and Westville 22-7 the week before that.
So on paper, fairly evenly matched teams, judging by their previous results against the one common opponent in Westville.
Yeah, and I would say that that's been borne out by what we've been seeing.
Absolutely.
Scrum half Carter McClelland, another huge shove, bringing a penalty for Michaelhouse, and I think you can mark that one down to the big fella, Eddie van Locherenberg. He looks from a distance to be about 6'3" and 110 kilos, but I might be overstating the case.
And you'll be surprised to hear 6'4", closer to 125. There's a lot of him.
You have to keep the fridge locked in the house, I presume. Now that's come off the side of the boot again, so no real distance gained. And the line out has been the problem for Michaelhouse. Let's see whether they can fix things in this second half. Tabo and Japa calling for the ball. Well-built young man. Low in the water. And this time, it's not straight. Yeah, and the problem is, you see, once it starts, there's very little you can do about it. I remember many years ago being in the Springbok Hotel on tour and watching Owen Nkamani throwing the ball down the corridor, trying to keep it straight. And you got a feel for the hooker. It wasn't that far off straight, but it was clearly not straight.
Yeah, he's obviously drawn attention to it in Ref Paul Mackay's eye, and he's keeping a close eye on it.
I suppose Glenwood not particularly happy to have the feet to the scrum, though. They're being butchered up front. Oh, there's a great step. Still going. And this is going to be a second try, I think. No, they've managed to hold him up, but the offload is away, and there is the score. Not absolutely certain who's got it, but it could be Kane Plaskett Byrne. That's a great start to the second half for Glenwood under-16s. Actually, he looks like a lock, doesn't he, with the strapping? So let's give that to Joshua Dean. You can see it again here. They did really well to hold him up there, but great little offload.
Wonderful leg drive by the try scorer.
So conversion attempt to come. Is it going to draw in? No, it stays out there. So we still haven't had a successful kick. And that means that Michaelhouse is still well in this game with just a 10-point deficit.
Yes, a goal will get them back in the game. But they'll need to score quickly. Graham Wynne approaching the middle of the field.
Yeah, and it will be the fullback to restart proceedings. Whoops-a-daisy.
Graham, one of 4 Clifton Nottingham Road boys in the Michaelhouse under-16A team today.
My daughter's old school, very nice to hear. And a fine establishment, I must say, about 10 k's from where we're sitting, and a real farm school. So set on 50 hectares, and founded by Colonel Green many years ago. It wasn't Colonel Green,
the Meadows
Cluedo. No, it wasn't him. Different one. So putting the ball in for Michaelhouse in a good attacking position here is Baker. He gets it. Realizes he's running out of room, so sets the next phase. Now they pick and drive from Jordan Kleinans. About 10 metres short now. Good field position this for Michaelhouse. Let's see what they can do with the ball. Well,
lining up in numbers, Glenwood backline.
Yeah, came up in their faces there. And so Michaelhouse going backwards instead of forwards.
They'll need to suck in defenders if they want to make any headway here.
They've got a few options. Here's Mlaba. Well, the show of the ball, and then it went. Referee says no, it wasn't knocked on. Mlaba's in touch though. And referee have been playing advantage. Looks like offside against the back line. Now, one of those where, as dominant as you might be an idea to knock this over from right in front of the posts. Lots of time left. No, they're going to set the line out.
Oh, hope springs eternal, Andy.
Yeah, it does. Well, we haven't got a stats board here, but I reckon it's 5 lineouts and they haven't won one.
I don't think there'll be many contradicting you today, Andy.
Obviously, my wife's not in the ground then. So, looks like we've got a change of hooker. Okay, so is this Von Klemperer taking over the throwing duties?
That looks like Angus Wattam.
Okay, Angus Wattam has come on just after half-time. Let's see whether he can sort things out for Michaelhouse. And, yep, they've won the ball for the first time, even though there was a bit of interference from Glenwood. Now, let's see if they can maul it across the line from here. They're getting very close. That is the try line. Now, can they get it to ground? Down they go. Yeah, men under the ball, says Paul Mackay. So they'll have a scrum. So it looks very much as if Thabo Njapa is off, and he has been replaced by Angus Wattam.
Let's see what impact that has on the scrum, Andy.
Yes, because it has been uber dominant. Wattam is a much smaller boy than Njapa. And I see we've also got a change at tight head. Looks like Eddie van Lockerenberg has run his race.
That's Donovan van Staden
So Donovan van
Slotting to the
Staden
tight head
in
spot.
at number 18. Is he also a Clifton boy?
He's not.
No.
Looks reasonably steady.
Yeah, good and steady. Let's see whether they can bring points from it. Lovely crash ball run. Mlaba looking to pick it up and drive over. He's lost it forward. But Michaelhouse won't be too distraught. They'll still have a chance to win the ball back from the scrum. Feel like I'm in a time warp saying something like that. You have to go back 50 years to when the scrum was a contest instead of it's our ball. Yeah, that's the previous movement where Michaelhouse got very close and then was just knocked on. Now they win a penalty at the next scrum, and it looks like they're going to try and take it quickly. No. Mlaba's running himself into position to try and take the pass, but Murray Baker opted to hold on to the ball. I believe Murray comes from the Seduce family.
The same.
Yeah. So I don't know whether that's a national brand. It's certainly very big here in the Midlands. Sir Juice.
I think you can pick up a Sir Juice supermarkets in Cape Town.
Lovely. So Baker with the tap. Oh, they've got extra men out wide here. Just got to put it through the hands, and there's the try. Have to wait and see who comes up with the ball.
Looks like it was Graham Wynn.
Graham Wynn coming up from fullback, and that is a win for Michaelhouse. I must say, Murray Baker spotted quickly that they had extra men on that side, and then it was a case of putting the ball through the hands. Easily said, and not necessarily so easily accomplished. Little word, I think, from referee to captain of Glenwood, who is Joandre van Rooyen. Let's see that try again. Here's Graham Wynn. Well, he backed himself to get there, and does he do so? Yes, he does. Oh, he looked a little embarrassed if he hadn't managed to roll over there. So that try coming in the 35th minute. And now this is Jankovic trying to turn it into a 7-pointer.
Bring Michaelhouse right back into the game, if he manages. It's not an easy kick. It's on his good side, though.
It's a good strike. Is it straight enough? Yes, it is. The flags went up very early there. And so it is a 3-point ball game. And we've got plenty of time left. There's around about 10 minutes left in this contest.
Well, the captain's choice to go for the line out, what seems like an age ago, but was only 3 and a bit minutes ago, seems to have been the right one.
When I say 10 minutes left, I mean 15 minutes left. So the restart will be from Okonta Chijundu. Knock on. So that'll be another scrum.
See more change in personnel. Michael Thornton in the tight headlock position in the red scrum cap.
Okay. So the bench is beginning to make an impact on the game. Glenwood. Advantage for not rolling away is the call. See if Glenwood can parlay that into points. Out from McClelland, giving it away, so they will come back. Penalty in front of the posts. With a 3-point lead, they might think about knocking this over. No, they're going to set the line out.
Glenwood have come to play.
They have. That's a good kick down into the corner. Just 7 meters out. Wilson with the feed. Shortened line out. A couple of flanks standing amongst the three quarters. Nicely one off the top there from Joshua Dean. Now they're going to try and maul it over from here, Glenwood. Well, Michaelhouse doing well to keep them going laterally.
Well, they've stemmed the initial tide.
Well, it's a free kick, not a penalty this time. The referee wants them behind the goal line. Not sure what the free kick was for. McClellan with the tap. Huge hit coming in on the ball carrier there. Just short of the line. Real chance this for Glenwood. Mlaba making a good hit there, trying to wrap the ball up in defence. It's still available for Glenwood. Can they get it down? That's amazing defence. Oh, and he's given the try. Finally. And I think that might be Reuben Thompson who has scored for Glenwood. It's a very important score with Michaelhouse having come back to within 3. That will now extend the lead to 8 with the conversion to come. Some really great defence on the line here from Michaelhouse. In the end, they just couldn't keep them out any longer. The conversion this time is good. It's a 7-pointer. And it comes in the 40th minute. So back to a 10-point gap. And we've got just under 10 minutes remaining in the game.
Let's see if that conditioning I've been talking about kicks in. Michaelhouse left.
It's going to make a big difference in this last 10 minutes, you would imagine. McClellan keeping things going. Oh, he's thrown it away. That's a great little intercept.
Campbell Riddle
on the 22. Can he make that ball available? He has done. Murray Baker digging it out. Taken on.
Jordan Kleinhans must have been off for a blood substitution while Michael Thornton was on.
Because he's back on the field now.
Although there's Michael Thornton.
There's Thornton in the scrum cap.
William Silk still on the field. And
here's
Michael
Mlaba. Mlaba taking it through the first hit and showing some good leg power there in the drive. Now Baker popping it up for, I think that's Donovan van Staden.
Thornton. Graham Wynn, the ubiquitous Graham Wynn on his heels.
Just 7 meters out now, Michaelhouse trying to make it count. Refusing to lie down in this game. Here's Mlaba. Oh, lovely offload through the tackle from Mlaba. That's the goal line you can see. Murray Baker digging it out. He's got lots of forwards around him.
Jordan Kleinhans carrying it up.
Kleinhans
keep it available.
Powerful ball carrier. And the penalty goes the way of Michaelhouse, right in front of the posts. Taken quickly. And is that Riddle across the line? The try is scored.
Campbell Riddle.
And that confirmation, that is Campbell Riddle, one of the Notties Clifton boys, who has scored that try. And close enough that this could well be a 7-pointer. And we're going to go down to the wire in this game. Once again, I like Murray Baker's use of space there. He was very aware at the tap who's where. And the conversion is good. So 43 minutes gone in this under-16s game. And once again, it is down to just a 3-point gap. Noticeable, I think, that Glenwood are a little slow in getting back to the halfway line.
Absolutely. Michaelhouse seemed to bound back into the game after conceding that try just a few minutes ago. Perhaps Glenwood, with the lead under the belt, are that much more reluctant to get back into the game with just 7 minutes remaining.
So there's the restart. Taken cleanly.
Tristan Arday.
And Arday showing a clean pair of heels there, taking it past the first tackler. Oh, must be very careful taking a player's legs out like that. The referee was right on the spot. He says fine. Murray Baker in there to make it available. Jankovic sends it down the line. Straightening of the line from Riddle. Just running out of options a little bit, so they keep it amongst the forwards. Thornton getting it away. Oh, and that actually was a lovely piece of almost basketball play from Wandile Mlaba, but it wasn't high enough pass for the man on his outside. You can see he's a ball player.
He's a wonderfully entertaining basketball player.
Aha, that would explain it.
Gifted cricketer too.
Okay, one of those guys who's got it all.
Poor boy.
Can he write joined up? I'm joking. So Glenwood with the scrum ball comes firing back into the back line. Got to be careful where that arm is, and I think the referee is spotted that. High tackle against Michaelhouse. So advantage being played. Glenwood trying to use that right-hand side of the field. Referee will bring them back for the penalty. Telling the Michaelhouse boys to keep quiet and get back in position. Now, I wonder whether they might think about a kick at goal here.
Well, it would soak up a little time.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. They're going to send it into touch on the far side from us and set the line out.
Confident kick by Glenwood.
So we've got about 4 minutes left in this game. You still wouldn't want to pick a winner. Glenwood are in a good attacking position here, though. I see they've got a new hooker on in Michael Betts. And Betts finding his jumper. Yeah, penalty for collapsing the maul against Michaelhouse, so advantage is being played. Show the ball in midfield. It's gone forward, I think. Referee allows play to continue. Out on this left wing, it is Chijundu. Now the straight hit up, that's the try line. Can they get it down? No, they can't. Held up, says the referee. That'll be a scrum 5. Just looking at the stadium clock, saying that we're ticking below the 3-minute mark. So Michaelhouse need to try and get a tight head here and go down the other end and score. Glenwood, on the other hand, I think if they can score from this position, they will wrap the contest up. Yeah, it is available. That's a good low tackle. And the referee says that'll be a Michaelhouse put into the scrum, so there's still time for the home side in this game.
Just under 2 minutes and 20 seconds for a roll of the dice.
Well, what a good contest this has been. This is what we're going to miss when contact sport is gazetted as no longer allowable. under COVID conditions.
Yes, it almost seems unfair to be so close to what we're going to be missing out on.
That's right. So good solid scrum ball from Michaelhouse. Now they need to use that ball. Through the hands it goes, and unfortunately not cleanly.
The numbers were there.
They were.
Execution not carried out.
Just trying to work the overlap, but somebody has to straighten the line and give a proper pass. You can't just keep flicking the ball. So maybe the chance has gone for the home side. They trail by 3. Michael Betts with the feed. It comes back on the Michaelhouse side, and it's available. Jordan Kleinans hitting it up.
There comes Campbell Riddle again. Ardey
getting
still
into
going.
his running very well, looking for a support runner. Rather ran away from his support. That's how quickly he was going.
Van Klemperer.
Van Klemperer gets hit very hard on the Michaelhouse 10-metre line.
There comes Thornton.
Now it's Thornton in the red scrum cap. And it's a great finish to the game. Good stepping.
Campbell Riddle
from
Riddle in the Glenwood's backline side.
He looks like one for the future. Murray Baker with the clear. It's done well to protect possession there. They've got options either side. They decide to go left. Man held in the air. This could be turnover ball. No, they've managed to wrestle it to ground. Well done. Still got options. We're inside the final minute of this contest.
Ashton Maria has speed.
And he's showing all of that speed, getting it all the way up to the 22. Can he make it available? Michaelhouse piling forward, looking to win this game with the last throw of the dice. Advantage, though, I think penalty advantage being played for Michaelhouse, so they might have a second go. Yep, there is the penalty. Now, what's the decision from here? I wouldn't mind seeing, if I was captain, I'd want to suck in the opposition defence and have a scrum. But he's going to set the line out. So
I'm inclined to agree with you, Andy. I would have enjoyed seeing a scrum there as our best bet.
But Angus Wattham now, he has all of the importance on his shoulders. He's the reserve hooker. It's a 5-metre line out. Can Michaelhouse score from here and win the game? Yep, we are officially in injury time, so this is almost certainly the last move of the game. It goes straight over the top.
Donovan van Staden.
Not straight is the call. And that is it. It's all over. Well, what a shame. A really great finish to the game, and Glenwood are victorious by just 3 points. They've beaten Michaelhouse by 22 points to 19, but I have to applaud both sides. We had 3 tries in the first half and 4 in the second half, and all of them were really good, worth watching. So let's just wrap things up there for you. Michaelhouse under 16s trailing by 19 points to 22 against Glenwood. And the teams for the next game are already on the field. We'll have a short break, and when we come back, it'll be the seconds.